Up next, we had Mark Henry versus Bo Dallas.
Oh, this is the other thing I got so excited about.
Oh, dude, I was cheering so hard when this happened. It was so good.
Just everything from the pre-match to the match to the post-match, just everything. So to get right into it, Mark Henry comes out and he's got this face. It just says, I am so tired of you people already, and I haven't even put my mouth to the microphone. And he's going on about, like, how, you know, his recent loss to Rusev and the apology and all that stuff. But then he gets quickly cut off by Bo Dallas. And Bo Dallas pretty much says, you know, you didn't fail America. You failed yourself. You know, you need to pick yourself back up, and you need to quit being so pathetic, and you need to do all that by just believing. So yeah, Bo Dallas pretty much tells Mark Henry to believe. They have a match. I fully expected Mark Henry, with the role that Bo Dallas has been on, and in case you're wondering, I mean lack thereof, lately, that I thought, you know, Mark Henry was just going to squash him. And it seems like at first Henry's exerting his dominance and showing those heelish tendencies. But then at one point in the match, he tries to go for a splash off the top rope. Bo moves out of the way, is able to hook Henry in for the running Bodog, connects with it, and gets the 3 count. I repeat, Bo Dallas has pinned Mark Henry. Unbelievable.
Dallas has pinned Mark Henry.
Mark freaking Henry. And you know what? If you thought it was a shock to us, apparently it was a shock to Renee Young, too, because she wanted to get a word with Bo Dallas. You know, I think it was like we had a commercial, then we come back, and then, you know, that happened. And she's like, you know, Bo, you just got the biggest win of your career. You know, how do you feel? And then he's about to give his usual Bo leaving spiel, go into another speech, when Mark Henry comes up from behind and pretty much destroys Bo Dallas, just throwing him into, like, I think this one, like, chest-looking thing, like a lot of this backstage equipment and stuff. And then when Bo is, like, slumped over, he, like, leans in and he says, "That's what I do." And, oh, man, how appropriate is it that this segment happened when you and I, Ashton, just revisited the SmackDown segment where he throws the audio technician over his own equipment into a black hole. Just too perfect.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad we're probably going to get heel Henry back now. This is going to be great. You know what?
Because I already mentioned... Mark!
Exactly. And you know what, Ashton? I'm just going to say this right now, because I already said earlier that it was announced, apparently, that we're getting a Big Show versus Rusev rematch. Watch Big Show about to close in, and then Henry costs Big Show the match out of bitterness that Big Show was going to be able to do something that Henry couldn't do. And then we get their feud.
Oh.
Yeah. I see Henry costing Big Show the match next week. That's my official prediction. Now, what would I prefer? I'd prefer Rusev to make Big Show tap out, and then those two meet up, and Henry be like, "Now do you see what I'm talking about? Now do you understand?" And Big Show just being like, "Yeah, Mark, I understand." Them thinking that the fans expect too much from them, and then they go on to be a dominant heel tag team. That I would love.
Oh, God.
But I think, yeah, it's going to be Henry costs Big Show the match. We get babyface Big Show versus heel Mark Henry again. And hell, the first time they did this over the world title, we got some great moments. "You're the world's largest loser." My personal favorite. "Now you wait your turn." "Oh, you're heavy breathing." "I was here first." Bam! Knockout punch.
So
oh, Mark, I cannot wait to see what you produce next week. It has been too long, man. I feel like it's been a long time since we've really gotten to enjoy Mark Henry. And I just keep thinking about that audio technician. I want to see Bo get thrown over something now. "What does this do? Now it don't do nothing." I'm telling you, if Mark Henry really goes full force with this, he's the fourth guy, because I'm compiling, like, heels that I really like. Like I said, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Tyson Kidd. And Mark Henry might just take the number one spot, like, immediately, because we know what he's capable of. I am so excited.
Mark Henry is the best around.
Never gonna bring him down, right?
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Oh, close enough. So, what came after this, Ashton?
What came after the Mark Henry Bo Dallas thing? Did we already talk about the post-match where Mark Henry slams the gigantic case into Bo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
So up next then was Brie Bella versus Eva Marie and Cameron. This was a heat of the night for me, kind of, sort of. It was a nitpick, so I don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to.
Yeah, Nikki. Don't worry. I'll protect you. You don't have to.
Thank God.
Nikki
Thank
Bella,
you.
You're welcome, bud. But yeah, Nikki gives a pre-match promo. I'm gonna be honest, Ashton. You knew at this point that I had some business I needed to attend to, so I was kind of in and out at this point.
And dude, I don't blame you, but I will say this: I will give Nikki Bella a little bit of credit. Her acting tonight was a tick better than it had been in the last couple weeks.
And I was gonna say the same thing, believe it or not, because I was paying enough attention that I was able to absorb. I think her anger was at its most authentic, and I think she's starting to get those heelish tendencies down just a little bit.
And that's the thing, dude. This felt like the anger was directed from the right place, because she was angry at Brie for all of the handicap matches that she had to go through, and she was getting ready to announce that Brie would have one too. So this, to me, even though she should be angry at Stephanie, she is a heel. So this, to me, was the most sensical that Nikki Bella as a heel has made. Most sense that she has made since she's been heel, really.
Yeah. Dude, without question.
I am the victim!
I just feel like this should have been the story from the beginning, because even then, it wouldn't have won any Oscars or anything, but I feel like you and I would have been more soft-handed and maybe even more praiseworthy of it than we have been, because they've tried to go directions with it that to me don't make any sense whatsoever. But yeah, this was nice because she brought up legitimate points. You know, when you were out, I had to wrestle all these handicap matches. Well, guess what? That's your fate tonight. And then, of course, in typical OP babyface's fashion, of which Brie Bella must have gotten fitted for her ring and joined the club, she actually wins her handicap match. And it's sad to say, because Ashton said that he compiled all the win-loss records earlier, Brie Bella has ended the streak. The 1-0 streak.
Coming into tonight, the only undefeated diva in September was Eva Marie.
Now, I know you're probably all tempted to cry into your pillows at the realization of this fact, as I know I was. But at least we know it's all over now. Because Brie, but you know what? Didn't she pin Cameron, though? Which makes it even more hilarious.
Yeah, she did pin Cameron, yes.
Yeah, Eva didn't even eat the pin.
Eva Marie is getting so much protection from the WWE right now.
Dude, that's so scary you said that, because I was just about to joke. So even in defeat, WWE's main priority is still protect Eva Marie.
Yeah, and just so that everybody is clear, even though Eva Marie was the only undefeated diva coming into this, it was only because she was 1-0, and that one was because she was a member of a winning team in I think it was a 6-diva tag team match. So even then, it's not really that big of a deal. And as of now, since she is now 1-1, since she was on the losing end of this tag match, well, handicap match, the number one diva record right now is Paige at 6-1. She has really been dominating this month. She's been on a roll.
You know what we call that where I'm from? We call that the natural order restored.
Well, you say that, but then AJ Lee would get pinned later in the night, and she's now 2-2 on the month.
Yeah, but at least who she got pinned by, I honestly don't even have any major gripes with. So
well, and that's another crazy thing. Alicia Fox is actually tied for the second best record in the Divas division after that with Layla. They're both 3-1 after tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, then.
And by the way, just so that everybody's aware, this is probably going to become a regular thing for us to talk about as of this week, because, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Waiting, but in Waiting, if you don't get this reference, just completely forget I said anything, because it's probably going to offend you, and it's going to be obnoxious and crude. But in Waiting, they have this penis game they play, this penis showing game that they play. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that gets said is, before the penis showing game was invented, the restaurant was down in the dumps and they were getting ready to get closed down, and then the whole penis showing game got invented and the restaurant started, the employee morale went up, and all of a sudden we started making more money. So the guy said to basically invent your own penis showing game. Well, keeping track of wrestlers' records has reinvigorated my interest in the show. So that's my version of the penis showing game.
Hey, whatever helps, man. And you know what? I wish WWE would do that more.
I know, right? They seriously need to show more male frontal nudity. No, I'm just joking. But no, seriously. They need to reinvent the wheel sometimes to kind of re-spark some interest in their product, because it's way too formulaic at this point.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
like with us, it's like one of the things that gets me into NXT is a lot of the time there is nothing on the internet after NXT that I can go to be like, okay, so that happened and that happened, and I can kind of read through it. So I'm forced to take my own notes on NXT, which I think helps our show as a whole, because then not only am I kind of getting the order in which things happen, but we're doing it from my perspective rather than kind of putting our personal twist on something that somebody else wrote down about the show.
Right.
And with this, it's like we're not necessarily getting that level of perspective, but the fact that I've been able to keep track of records now, I think that it adds a dimension that we hadn't seen before. And I'm actually starting to notice some booking patterns from the WWE.
Yeah.